Set among the pines of Rayford, North Carolina, the Carolina Horse Park broke new ground this year. Building upon 12 years of Southern Pines horse trials, the Cloud 11 Gavilan North LLC Carolina International CIC and Horse Trials offered international divisions for the first time this year. Spectators enjoyed an exciting weekend of action, featuring dynamic up-and-coming horses and riders, as well as Olympic veterans as they competed in dressage, show jumping, and cross-country. In the Pro Tour Series Adequan USEA Gold Cup CIC 3-star division, sponsored by 1984 Olympic team medalist Karen Stives, the winning ride came down to the final seconds of competition. It all began Thursday morning in the dressage arena. The first day of competition featured 43 horse and rider combinations, bringing on their best moves in the dressage arena for the Pro Tour Series and Adequan USEA Gold Cup CIC 3-star division, sponsored by Karen Stives. By the end of the day, scores in the lower 40s would keep competitors atop a competitive division brimming with international talent and World Championship hopefuls. Five-time Olympian Karen O'Connor joined us for some commentary during the top rides.
So just going around the arena, around the outside is Jan Binney in midair. It's quite an exciting combination. They've done really, really well. They were the winners of the fall championships at Fairhill this past fall. They've also been a previous second place winner at Fairhill. Jan is such a hero to a lot of us. She had a serious injury few years ago, and it's taken a lot of perseverance and tremendous chutzpah to be able to get back up to this highest level in an extraordinary fashion. We're all really excited for her. She gets along wonderfully with this horse. They have a terrific partnership. So coming down center line in midair, is getting ready for the halt. So the halt's supposed to be very immobile, which he is. He's got the right hind leg slightly out the back. Ideally, you'd like to have that right hind leg up and underneath him. The rhythm is lovely. She sits beautifully. She's a beautiful picture to watch. Horse is in the left shoulder in and looks very consistent and regular. And then on into the medium trot. Again, regular. What you're looking for is a big difference in the step that the horse takes, a reaching step in the medium, and then a wonderful transition back. And now the horse is in the shoulder in right. Lovely bend, great step coming from behind. The right hind and the left front take a beautiful step together. She sits really deep. Her leg is firmly on the horse's side. Now she does an extended trot. Now we see a little bit more animation of the diagonal pairs of the trot. The horse stays up in the air a bit longer, has a moment of suspension a slightly bit longer, and again a great transition back. This is coming to be a lovely test. Great trot work. If we were looking at this from the straight, the angle wants to be so that the horse is going sideways and bending in the direction of motion, and this is known as the half pass. She goes half pass right first and then half pass left. Seamlessly, no interruption between the two half passes. Transition great into the walk. Horse is really settled. It's quite windy out, and there's a fair bit of atmosphere, so these horses are in the middle of their season. And the judges would be looking for a very settled test, the ability for the rider to really gain every point, show the judges that the horse is settled and they can make great transitions, that you can push the envelope on their movement. In this nice extended walk, you see the overstep. Now she shortens the walk, pushes into the halt for a beautifully square halt. That's really lovely. 3, 4, 5 steps back exactly, and up into the left lead canter. She'll get great marks for that movement. It was settled, it was accurate, precise, and just exactly what the judges are looking for. She comes around to this next side, and she's going to do a serpentine of 2 loops on the left lead. The second loop being in the counter canter. looking for the same rhythm, the true lead to the counter canter lead. Both loops the same in size and rhythm and speed, and she comes out of that beautifully. She's doing a great job. This is a lovely test to watch. It looks as if for me, it looks as if the horse is really just so relaxed and so confirmed in his work, and that gives you great points. Beautiful flying change. The horse jumps up into it, and now she's on the 20-meter circle, medium canter, right lead. You want to really be brave here. This is hard to be brave here because you don't want the horses to become disobedient and buck or scoot or shy or anything. And obviously this horse is very settled. She's able to be quite brave in it. Quite a big change in the canter. Now the judges are looking for the challenges on the other lead, the right lead, so it's the same movements again. First loop, true canter, right lead. Second loop, counter canter, right lead. Losing a little bit of rhythm there in the beginning of the counter loop. Now he's stepped up out of it. The bend is wonderful. The horse's hind end is on the line of direction, not to the right or to the left of the line. Coming straight for us for the flying change. Look for the lift, and really great, really great. Big points for that. Nice moment of suspension, nice lift and reach through the flying change. The leg is beautifully placed and still on the horse's side. Horse and rider together look like one. It's a really quiet picture. Extended canter is the final movement before the turn down the center line, looking for a big transition back to impress the judges. She got that done. Turn down the center line. She has a judge right in front of her at the end of the arena that's looking for straightness. A little bit of movement in the final moments, a little bit of movement there during the sloop. Lose a point in that final sloop, but generally the test is exceptional. She'll get big points. She should be delighted. I know she's got a big smile on her face, so she's happy. She's very happy. Great job, Jam. Okay, down center line we have Will Coleman and Conair. This is a very, very exciting pair. Both horse and rider are very experienced. However, they've only had their partnership for less than a year now. Wonderful halt, wonderful square halt. Settled, quiet horse. It's a beautifully large, magnificent looking horse. Beautiful mover. Will looks great on this horse. Will needs a big horse to take up his long leg. And God, they look like such a great pair. The rhythm and cadence of this horse is exceptional. He's a wonderful mover. Look at how big his step is, over tracking in the medium trot with a great amount of, moment of suspension in the air. And yet he's able to make the transition and power out of the turn. Shoulder in right, perfect angle. Looking for three tracks of line straight towards us in the other medium trot. You can almost see the soles of the horse's front feet when he's coming towards us, which is what you're looking for. Big marks there from the judges. It's important with the two international judges that we have here at Carolina Horse Park this weekend. Christian Landholt is going to be in the judges booth at Rolex this spring. So it's very, very important that he sees our horses at their best, and he remembers that when they go down center line at Rolex. If you notice, Will's contact is the same all throughout all of his movements. His hands are up and out in front of him. Half pass right. He's got a nice bend around his right leg, which is what the movement is asking of and what the judges are looking for. And if you notice, for me, I think this is lovely. The step remains the same. The rhythm is wonderful. I love the horse's blaze right down the middle of his face. It's a very striking picture. Will's looked a long time to find this horse, and he obviously is really high on the horse, as everybody else is. I know that he's been working really hard with him, and it's paying off, because for me this is a lovely test. Looking here at a close-up of his step for a big overstep in that walk. I think that he's got an okay overstep, but if he was to make the walk better for the bigger points, he wants to have a good 12 inches overstep in that walk. You'll get a little bit marked down, slightly marked down for that rein back. It went haunches left, and the very first step was a half step. But we're talking fractions here. The horse was straight and steady and rhythmical, and he went right up into the left lead canter beautifully. So, you know, it's going to get a good mark. He's going to want to be working on that to get the great mark by the time he gets to Rolex. Counter canter is lovely. The shape and size of the loops are very accurate. You can see it's quite windy day, you know. Will's his tails on his coat are flapping, and the horse is a little bit above his hand in the actual change. So he may not get quite the big mark that he was hoping for, but it's still a very, very competitive mark. Big change to the medium canter circle, and see his transition back to collected canter. Great, super. Now he comes around to start the counter canter loops again. First loop is right lead true canter. What you're looking for is that the canter stays in exactly the same rhythm and pace as it goes into the counter canter now. The tracks of the hind feet and the front feet are in the same line. As you can see, I'm stating the obvious when you're watching Will, because he's done a beautiful job here. And now he's going to come onto his half circle and come straight for us and do the change. Let's see if the horse stays more on his hand this time. Yep, it's better. A little bit of a shift to the right in the change. And again, that's something that I'm sure that he has improved already and is continuing to work on for the big points. We're scored from 0 to 10. And certainly in the international scene at the highest level that they're going to see at the World Equestrian Games in the summer, you want to not lose any points on those dressage tests. Every fraction of every point is important at the end of the weekend. Very good down the center line. You've got to like that halt. The horse is so obedient, so relaxed, and yet Will's able to put a lot of presence onto the test. He's able to perform. You can see how relaxed the horse is at the end. You know, the horse is able to release the pressure, scratch his leg, thank the crowd, shake his head. Everybody's happy. He should be really delighted with that. Really happy for Will. Super.
That was really beautiful.
So as Jan Binney and In Midair took a score of 40.5, they took the early lead heading into the next day's show jumping phase, while Will Coleman and Con Air would follow closely with an even 42.
He was great. He's always tries, no matter what. I might screw him up sometimes, but he tries his heart out. So I was really pleased. And it's always nice to be winning at the end of the first day. But as we all know, there's 2 more days, and I think that's not, you know, we'll see what happens the rest of the weekend.
He was good today. I think there are a few little points on maybe left on the table, but we'll keep working towards our end goal at Kentucky. But for the moment, we're very happy with our score today and going forward for this weekend.
Michael Pollard and Ballingow and Pizzazz finished day 1 in 3rd place after earning a 42.3. Doug Payne and Crown Talisman followed closely with a score of 44.1. Sharon White and Under Suspection shared 5th place with Allison Springer and Arthur, both earning a 45. Michael Pollard returned to the arena, this time with Mensa, to grab a 45.9 to secure 7th place. Marilyn Little brought RF Demeter out for her first big show of the season to earn a solid 46.2 for 8th place. Buck Davidson rounded out the top 10, earning a 47.4 with Petite Flower for 9th, and an even 48 for Ballynocastle RM, who advanced to the next day, placed in 10th. Sunny skies and fair weather returned for the second day of competition as the Carolina International's Highlight Division took on Mark Donovan's show jumping course. While a fair number of rails fell throughout the challenging course, Fence 4, an oxer off a turn around Stonehenge, a complex to be included in the following day's cross-country phase, proved to be the game changer. The top 3 positions shuffled before the last horse crossed the finish line. Overnight leader Jan Binney explained as she dropped to 3rd place after in midair kicked a rail out of the cups at Fence 4.
I was not smart enough to figure out that Fence 4 was a bogey fence. I just thought it was just normal brown jump. Yeah. So I had it down behind. I thought I rode it well. I think he barely hit it, to be honest. But my horse he wants to be careful and can be a bit spooky, but I didn't feel that there at all. I thought the sun for me was a bit hard in my eyes, but other than that, it was fun. I thought the course was a nice track to ride around, to be honest.
Later, Will Coleman and Con Air saw 2 rails hit the grass after their jumping round, which dropped them out of the top 10. So Michael Pollard and Ballingow and Pizzazz became the pair to beat as they navigated the course flawlessly. Well, almost.
I've had one little forgetful moment after the first fence. I turned the wrong way, but luckily I remember just in time, and he's fast enough that you could make up the time, and he jumped fantastic, so really happy with him. So I could basically do a jump off round the rest of the course and still jump clear, so yeah, I mean he can leave strides out pretty easily if you need to, and he jumps higher, so it makes you fairly confident that you can make a mistake and he'll smooth it out for you. So that's basically what I had a pretty stupid move there, and he saved me. Yeah, he had a small leg issue, I guess 18 months ago, and then I brought him back, and he was really good before that. And then I didn't even get to do an advanced. I did like 3 intermediates, and then I was going to do an advanced, and then he had a tendon strain, and so I waited, and then he did some advanced last fall. Was really good. Had a really nasty overreach that kept him from going to Fairhill or Galway, so he was out for like a month. It was nasty. So then basically I've had him ready to go this spring, and he's been fantastic so far. So
yeah. Good. Thank you, dear. So we're going to stay with the story.
Likewise, Doug Payne and Crown Talisman found their way around the course and left all the rails intact to ascend from 4th place into 2nd.
First off, I can't thank Larry and Amelia Ross enough. They're partners with Tally, with me, and he's an exceptional horse, and I'm very lucky to have the opportunity to ride him. I always really appreciate Mark's courses because they certainly make you think a bit, and like I was pretty concerned about the 4th fence, having a rail there, so I spent a little bit of time sort of set that up, and knowing that was the case, I knew I was going to be a little bit back on the clock, so I decided to sort of cut through the Stonehenge thing. And I know Mark's intention was to have the Oxford to Oxford line sort of be the faster route through. So we sort of took that cue with the other, and I think saved a few seconds. I think I was 2 seconds under, so it's close enough that it would have been a problem had I gone around. But the great thing is that he's so maneuverable and quick on his feet, and he really does adjust well to that sort of thing. And so I was certainly thankful that we did a fair bit of jumpers this spring. It certainly paid off. I will say he's just an incredible athlete, and scary to think. I think it's just starting to come together, and in the next few years, I can't imagine what he'll end up being, but like I said, it's sort of just a privilege to ride him.
Also jumping without fault were Sharon White and Under Suspection, who moved in 4th place. Marilyn Little and RF Demeter gained 3 positions as they ascended to 5th place. Buck Davidson secured 6th place with Petite Flower, and aboard Ballino Castle RM shared 7th place with Kim Severson and Fernhill Fearless. Jonathan Halling and Downtown Harrison found themselves among the top 10 after a double clear show jumping round to settle in 9th. And Michael Pollard and Mensa caught 1 rail to drop from 7th place to 10th. That afternoon, we caught up with cross-country course designer Hugh Lahore for a preview of some of the highlights on his CIC 3-star cross-country course.
I'm Hugh Lahore. I was invited to come down here and redo some of the tracks before last year's event, so I had the opportunity to build what I thought was a fun and fair advanced track in 2013. And I was just lucky enough that these guys opted to go with a CIC 3-star for the first time this year. So I had that opportunity last year to test out an advanced track. This year, we just done some tweaking. We tightened it up a little bit in places, made the complexity of the course a little bit tighter where it needs to be tighter, but then opened up the galloping lanes and opened up the speedier parts of the track even more than we did last year, which was what was lacking here before. So pretty happy with the way it's come out. We've differentiated in 5 different places between the regular advanced track and the 3-star. There's some fairly strong differences between the regular advanced this weekend and the 3-star. And I feel like the 3-star will really have ridden a proper 3-star test when they come through the finish on Saturday. There's some big fences out there. There are some fairly straight attacking, complex combinations, and all in all, and then I think they've got a lot of good speedy areas where they can make up time. I think the time will be a factor because the first half of the course is in the trees, and that always gives a perception of speed that isn't there. So I imagine a lot of them will be down on the clock at halfway, and they have a couple of really good opportunities to make up that time in the sort of second third of the course, I suppose. So all in all, I think there's a good balance. We'll see what the result shows on Saturday, but I'm pretty pleased with the way it's turned out. Okay, here we're at probably the first of the more serious questions on the course, fence 7 and 8 AB. There is a two-part combination at fence 5 AB. That's just a big bending line of houses, which is straightforward. Here, the first serious question, 7, the little house, not an issue really, but it's how you then get to 8A and B. There's a more direct line on the right-hand side and a more S-bending line that takes you to a left-hand corner here at 8B. So how you jump 7 and how you get to 8 depends on the line you're then going to take to 8B. So there's a sort of 4 or 5 second difference in the line that they might take here, and really it's just one of those make your mind up before you get here type questions. But it's quite a serious angle on the corner, so they've got to be committed. So they're coming from the canopy jump, Lizzie's leap in the background over there, into this atmospherics. We're right before halfway around the course now. They're nice and settled in. They've had a lot of trees and a lot of quiet sort of galloping in the woods over there. Now they're coming back into where the public will be, all the atmospherics of the sponsor's tent right here. So we've got to be a little bit careful what we do here. They've got a 90-degree turn, big swooping 90-degree turn to this pie, where they're going to come in over the log, and it is just a good 3-stride straight line, but in strong. So it's quite a strong 3 strides, but we do want them to be off this a little bit. The horses will lock onto those 2 flags. They've got the really nice rock in the base of it to draw them into the base of it a bit, and they've got to keep moving on through here. They don't want to, if they crouch a little bit through the pie, they really need to put their leg on to get out in 3. We've got a strong 2-strided double of feeders here. The angle, the acute angle they've got to take them really creates quite a spread here. We're right at maximum spread in base and across the top on the angle that we're taking these 2 feeders. And we've got to bear in mind that we've come off at least half a mile of fast gallop. From the main arena, we're a little over halfway through the course here. They've had a really good opportunity to make up some time over a big steeplechase fence, and then off this turn into this double of feeders. It is a keep coming 2 strides, but they are going to have to just get them back and get them focused a little bit over these 2 what are pretty big feeders. We got a 4-part combination here in the 3-star. This, bear in mind, is the 2nd water jump towards the end of the cross-country course. We've got a 115, a 3'9" boathouse with a strong 1 stride to a 1.7 drop, which is what, 5'8" drop down into the water. A 4 or 5, depending on what you want to do, to bending to a corner in the water, which is always an interesting concept, and then a 5 bending line to the right going out over a boathouse. So it's all going to come pretty quick. 4-part combination, 2nd water, last sort of serious question on the course. So I think it's placed pretty well on the course, and yeah, looking forward to see it. It rode well in a very similar kind of style. It rode very well last year in the regular advance, so I'll be hopefully pleased to see it ride well in the 3-star.
Hi there, everybody. It's Karen O'Connor from the Carolina Horse Park, and we have just had the most amazing cross-country day in the CIC 3-Star. My God, the riders have had such a great day. The weather has been fantastic. Hugh Lahore has built the most magnificent course for these riders to get a great ride today, get a great preparation for the rest of their season. We have riders and horses that are getting ready for the World Equestrian Games, getting ready for Rolex, and they have had a wonderful day putting their horses on their legs today at the Carolina Horse Park.
Right-hand side of the very side one second. middle. 2 now, and wait for the water jump to the Ronda's rolled up. Next to go still 88.6 total. Still leads.
At the top of the leaderboard, ended up Marilyn Little on her RF Demeter. She was Horse of the Year for the USEA last year. Fantastic horse, very, very consistent. Really interesting about that mare, she's never won a competition. And so today she came home with the fastest time of the day, and she's standing at the top of the podium today.
Footing was beautiful, the course was really well designed, and there's a great amount of terrain as an event leading up to Rolex. So got to kind of have a nice gauge of where your horse is, and she finished well, she was quick, and she handled the technical questions reasonably well, and there was enough out there on the course, so I was really happy. I thought that Hugh Lahore's course was wonderful in that it allowed room for, at this point in the year, to be able to make different decisions based on your horse. You can go left to the corner, you can go right to the corner, you can add, you can leave out. It didn't demand or back you into a corner anyway. And at this point, right now in March, it's nice to see that you have some options with the greener horses coming up, getting ready to step up in the divisions. You're not nailed against the wall with a certain number, and with the advanced horses that you can back off, or you can take the more aggressive route depending on where they are in their career. With Demi, I plan to start with both horses as if I was going to make the time, and because there's a big question mark in terms of their fitness. I was hoping that they were fit and they felt fit, but I planned to start out as if I was going for the time, and then depending on how they were jumping and how they were galloping at 3 or 4 minutes, start to change my plan accordingly. And they both Smoke, I bled off the pace a little bit at some of the fly fences to make sure he was landing really balanced, and then he actually picked up. He finished better than he felt in the middle, and he felt all right the whole way through. It felt fast, but solid enough.
Adding just 2.4 time faults to their score, Buck Davidson and Ballynowcastle RM finished their weekend in second place.
He was a little bit excited. I mean, he was a little bit, he's really not sort of in mid-season form yet, and so I heard he had the best heart rate and the best temperature after the event, which is huge for me because I didn't, we started the season early and got him fitter early, knowing that if something came up or whatever, we'd have a little bit of time. And so I was really excited about that, and he jumped great the whole way. He's honest as day is long, and I went quick enough, and just really happy to have him back.
With 8.8 time vaults, Michael Pollard and Ballingowan Pizzazz finished their weekend in third place.
It was good to get on Mango and have him go around there well. In general, I wish I could have gone maybe a little bit faster here or there, but I think really it's just a matter of finding the right pit setup. And right now, I waste time setting up for the jumps. He's amazing at the fences, but it just takes a while to set him up. So I'll have to play with that a little bit. And I think if I get that sorted out, he's really quick horse. He's really quick at the jumps themselves. And he turns well and all that stuff. I just got to be able to gallop to the jumps more before I have to set him up. So. But I mean, I don't think he jumped a single fence that wasn't. It should make a good picture. He's amazing. So.
And so as the 2014 Carolina International CIC 3-Star drew to a close, some might say it was the perfect launch for the Horse Park's first FEI competition. 3 days of exciting competition, fair weather, great riding, good horsemanship, and good sportsmanship. Congratulations to all riders participating in every level, and a very special thank you to our sponsors, donors, volunteers, and everyone who made this event possible. Until next year, thanks for watching.